Oh boy, are you excited? It's another Fandoms episode. We're gonna be looking at Five Nights at Freddy. How great is that? How amazing is that video game? I'm sure you're just fucking thrilled to look through the fandom related to it. Pretty fucking amazing that DeviantArt has over 500,000 results when it comes to this. And looking, you know what? Fuck it. Usually I have a minor structure when I go through this. I tell you how many results there are. I give you a quick little quip at the beginning, and then I show you some of them before we get into the bulk of what's to follow. Before we get into the nitty gritty of the fetishistic artwork that the community builds up around the thing they worship. But I'd like to take a minute before we really even get into that to address a few things. Namely, that this flash-based point-and-click piece of shit looks like it's been ripped off of the 2008 main page of fucking Newgrounds. It's the kind of game people would have played while they waited for the next box head to come out. It's amazing, really, when you think about it, that there are 6 of these. That's 6 fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. That's 1 every 6 months. That's 2 a year. With the exclusion of 2017, I'm not sure why that is. Maybe God's merciful, or Scott is just too busy jacking off on the pile of money he's made from pumping this out bi-yearly. Look at those sales figures. Better yet, look at those play times, because that really speaks volumes, doesn't it? 3 minutes on average. I wonder why that is. I wonder why people are spending only 3 minutes on average playing these fucking games. Could it be that the content is shit and the gimmick gets old really quickly, but yet for some reason kids keep buying them? I don't know why that is. I'm not saying certain people are fucking responsible for this shit, but they are, and they know who they are, and they should feel fucking badly about it. Some people should be shot out of a cannon at a fucking brick wall. That's all I'm saying. Now maybe you're looking at that list and you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, I am deeply familiar with the lore of this video game franchise. I am well aware of Five Nights at Freddy's, but what is Five Nights at Freddy's World? That one I'm not familiar with. I don't remember that video game. Well, that would be the one that was so fucking awful that it got yanked down from the Steam store by Scott himself and given away for free. The game was so bad, he pulled it and said, I can't charge you money for this anymore. It's a crime against humanity. The UN has got a binding resolution to stop me from selling this fucking thing to you. But I'm so familiar with the quality of workmanship of this video game franchise, why would he do that? Surely Five Nights at Freddy's World must be a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, that's about the quality I was expecting. That's worth $15. Where do I send the check to, Scott? I don't know. Do you need a new yacht? Is that why you put this one out? What was the rationale behind that? Now, some people would be cynical and say that no, Scott pulled it down not because he felt bad, but because he was getting a massive amount of backlash on Metacritic and on the Steam forums. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you saw that quality gameplay. Clearly, that is a fucking masterpiece. Or at least that's what you would consider a masterpiece if you were a fucking retarded 10-year-old. Oh, but wait, Jim, why are you speaking out against the video game? You didn't do that with Sonic. Oh, Sonic has had some fucking god-awful video games. I don't think even the most diehard Sonic fan is going to tell you otherwise. They are well aware of the fucking atrocious shit that gets churned out by Sega on a near yearly basis when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog. And other fandoms that you might want to point to might be obnoxious, but at least they have a video game to base their shit around. Oh, what about Undertale? Well, as far as I remember, Undertale actually had this thing called gameplay, had mechanics built into it. It's really weird. It wasn't just a flash-based point-and-click piece of bullshit. It's really hard to nail Undertale for being in the same league as Five Nights at Freddy, because it's an actual video game. Oh, but wait a second, Jim. I've heard your stupid ass talk about To the Moon before. That's not a video game, that's a fucking visual novel. The gameplay in that is shallow. It's crap. How can you knock Five Nights at Freddy for having no fucking gameplay in it when you like To the Moon? Well, you might have a point. With the minor exception being that while To the Moon might lack gameplay like Five Nights at Freddy's does, It has an actual story to it. A whole backstory to it that makes it somewhat engaging and interesting. About a dying man reliving his past to try to have a moment of peace before he passes away to the great beyond. And a meta story layered on top of that about the scientists involved with that and how maybe they're in the same program based on the epilogue, or maybe one of them's dying and you don't know. You're waiting for part 2 to find out. There is a narrative arc in that little indie game that makes it entertaining, but not so with Five Nights at Freddy. There's no deep fucking plot here. It's a bad night at Chuck E. Cheese on an acid trip. You're running away from a blender that's wearing earmuffs that wants to kill you. Over 100,000 units of this sold. Don't even try to compare this shit to another video game franchise. You're not going to win that argument. Now, I know I'm going to get people in the comment section that are fucking stupid and are going to try to defend this piece of shit video game. I shouldn't even call it a video game. This piece of shit flash animation. They're going to say, you don't understand, Jim. It's got appeal. It's spooky, scary skeleton shit. I'm not a retard that bought it because I saw PewDiePie or Markiplier play it. No, I'm in it for the deep plots. You can't appreciate how amazing this franchise is. If you're one of those preteen idiots, I'd like to sell you my video game. I call it 6 Days at Johnny's. It's got a really unique plot. I think you're going to appreciate it. You're trying to escape the school, but the Tard Wrangler won't let you. And there's a plot twist. The Tard Wrangler isn't the robot. Your autistic ass is. You unfeeling, unempathetic, non-expressional piece of crap. You're the robot. And you've got to get past your Tard Wrangler. I'm going to have that up on Steam in the next week. And I'm like, Scott, I'm just going to leave it up there because fuck you, you'll pay for anything, won't you? All right, I feel that was cathartic. I feel better now that I was able to express my opinions on this non-fucking game. Now let's go look at the fandom that built up around it. Because I think we're going in with a better understanding. They're not really here because they think the gameplay's stellar or they think the plot's super deep. It's more a bunch of furries like the idea of a robot wearing a costume. What are they exactly? What's their kink? How do you classify this one? If a machine is wearing a wolf costume, what kind of freak are you? I don't know. But you got a boner either way, don't you? Five Nights at Freddy fandom. So let's go look at your gay robot baby pictures because I'm sure there's going to be some in there. I'm sure there's going to be some, and then maybe some vor too. It's just the fetish getting slapped on top of the fandom, isn't it? You just need to produce those pictures. I don't even think you really give a shit about this franchise. I think you wanted an excuse to show a robot bear shitting out a turkey. Oh, hey there, little kid. Why don't you come into the storeroom with me? Come into the closet. You want to see how far this hook can go up a rectum. That amazing piece of cosplay artwork would be Five Nights at Freddy coming to get you. I might have gone with a different title. Maybe, I don't know, Molestation Here We Come, or I'm gonna need a lot of therapy to forget this. But there are a lot of cosplays for Five Nights at Freddy characters. I'm not sure why you'd put that much dedication into it. Because somebody at the convention's gonna ask, wait a minute, what are you based off? And then you're going to have to hang your head in fucking shame and tell them it's a flash game that you played for 3 minutes and spent $5 for. You may as well tumble the stair dragging your ass right down the main stairway after that because I don't know how you're coming back from it. And let's add a little vor in there for the fuck of it. Why not? I mean, they're not really flesh and blood. They're machines. They're machines that if they ate you, you would be shredded into a million pieces. But let's not let that get in the way of masturbation. And is that a fucking Pokemon? Is that Charizard anthropomorphized into a half human, half lizard? I don't know what the fuck that is. But then again, I'm not familiar with the characters of this video game. Maybe that's one of them. Maybe that's the 15th iteration of some Chuck E. Cheese mascot that they put in the 18th game. I have no fucking clue. Yuck! We told you we'd stuff you into a suit, but we never said which one. Sloop. And boy, you were delicious. Blech. Yuck! Excuse me. Blech. Apparently, these robotic mascots are a cross between an inbred hillbilly and Goofy. I like to call this sequence regret. Here's the before, and then immediately after the regret. It looks like a wounded animal begging to be shot. It looks like a horse that got hit in the road and you need to pull out a shotgun from your trunk and just end its fucking suffering. And, call me crazy. This was under the vor tag. But I think there might be more going on with this particular image than just vor. I'm not sure what body part they're eating first, but I have a small inkling, a little bit of a hint. God, they sure do love the vor pictures and inserting their own OC in it. Remember, do not steal. This is an original character. One created by Niku Kai Cutie, Puppet 8 Golden Freddy. Oh, you'll be wondering why the both of them are not complaining to get out, because this is a shipping, a Puppet X Golden Freddy vor pic. I'm gonna guess the reason the giant black fox isn't freaking the fuck out right now is because he's gone into shock from his legs breaking as the weight of whatever he ate has slammed him into the ground. That is the look something has before death takes it to hell. But it wouldn't be a Deviants without a little bit of gay empreg. Oh, that's right. I'm talking about robotic butt babies. Look at that look at that enduring embrace. They are meant for one another. They're going to have some kinky sex and somebody shitting a toaster out in a week. It's just look at the faces. Look at the faces of these bizarre gay robot relationships. I'm wondering if this one should have been tagged not safe for work just based on the facial expression, because somebody is enjoying this embrace in a little bit more than a friendly way. Now, this is the high quality craftsmanship that I have come to expect from DeviantArt. Loving maids. Okay, guys, I just wanted to shed some light on my favorite FNFA ship, Balloon Boy X Foxy. It's my favorite because they understand one another's solitude, and it makes them all the more compatible. The steamy robot sex between them is unreal. And come on, don't tell me they aren't cute. Apparently, Balloon Boy's been sucking on the Robot Fox's nipple. I don't know if that's like saliva, or maybe he just got overexcited and finished early before they could get down to business. I don't know. He's looking directly at it like he feels a little guilty. He didn't warm up first before they understood each other's solitude. Now, this one was listed under MPreg, but I think they might have mistitled it. I think they chose the wrong category. This is clearly a crossover with Willy Wonka. He had that bubbly fizz drink and is now exploding it out his robot vagina. I can fix Kakatron's entry with this in 1 second. Ready? There we go. Now it suddenly fits so much better. Now, this is either one of two things. This is either an inflation fetish, or there's a robot slave trade that's being run on DeviantArt that I'm unaware of. Maybe Fox decided he wanted to sell some people into bondage, rather than inflate them for his sexual... Oh, no, wait. It's an inflation fetish. For whatever reason. The majority of inflation art related to Five Nights at Freddy, and I'm not fucking kidding, involves them having helium containers shoved up their assholes. Take this image. Now, you might think that's just a fat robot fox, but you'd be wrong, because one look at the title gives you all the information you need to know about what happened. Butt Inflation Foxy. And if that wasn't direct enough for you, let's just shove the hoses right on up there. Hell, let's stick the fucking tank right on up there and send him away on a voyage. You know, as I look through the various artworks of the Five Nights at Freddy fandom, I'm left with a lingering thought. Is there any way the person who had a large hand in spreading this fucking plague on the internet, the individual that brought millions and millions of eyes onto it, and helped to contribute to the creation of gay robot butt babies, is there any way this could come back to bite him in the ass? But I just don't think that's going to happen. It's not like there's going to be image after image after image of a particular Let's Player getting gangbanged and raped by characters in the video game, where he's forcefully held down and fucked from behind by a robot teddy bear. No, it would seem as if he'll get off scot-free. Now, there are many fandoms that have been built up around video games over the years, and a majority of them are full of people that are far, far, far on the high end of the autistic scale. You can see that when you look through the artwork and the fan fiction they write. But as bad as they get, at the very least, they can look any Five Nights at Freddy fan in the eyes and say, at least it's an actual video game, you stupid fucking cunt.